Hello, and thank you for inviting me to your annual meeting. It's a pleasure to speak with you today. Our state and nation depend on affordable, reliable baseload power sources like coal to keep the lights on when needed most. Thank you to all of our lignite producers for your essential contributions towards this goal. Moreover, you help support North Dakota's continued role as a global energy powerhouse. By promoting innovation and building the right kind of legal tax and regulatory environment, our state is leading the way in producing more energy for our nation. That's the kind of approach we need at the federal level to restore U.S. energy security and keep prices low for consumers. As a member of the Senate Energy Committee, that's exactly what I'm working to accomplish every day. This includes our efforts to secure approval of BNI Coal's federal mine plans, which were required to enable the company to develop new sections of the mine. By providing this regulatory certainty, we were able to prevent $35 million in additional costs from being imposed on ratepayers. We're also supporting new investments in new technologies to crack the code on CCUS for our coal industry. We've worked to advance world-leading CCUS projects right here in North Dakota, including Basin's Dakota Gasification Plant, Minnesota's Project Tundra, and Rainbow Energy's Coal Creek Station. At the same time, we're pushing back on the Biden administration's costly and burdensome Green New Deal agenda. We're working to prevent the administration from reviving unworkable Obama-era regulations like the MATS rule and the Clean Power Plan, which were previously blocked by the Supreme Court. In particular, I plan to lead a resolution on the Senate to overturn the MATS rule should it be finalized by the EPA. Our abundant coal reserves are a strategic asset, and it's time we treat them as such. These efforts are all about ensuring our nation can continue to utilize these critical resources now and into the future. Thank you again for the invitation. Best wishes for an enjoyable and productive meeting.
Hey, greetings to all of you gathered there in Bismarck for the Lignite Energy Council's annual meeting. Boy, do I wish I could be with you all today to celebrate your 50th annual meeting. But I'm stuck out here in the swamp, as always. Look, I don't have to tell you about the Biden administration's ongoing climate crusade against folks like yourselves who quite literally keep the lights on for so many North Dakotans and Midwesterners. Instead of promoting coal as an inexpensive, reliable energy source, which we know it is, this president insists on issuing regulation after regulation aimed at shuttering coal and harming the consumers who rely on your product to keep their lights on, to heat and cool their homes, to charge economic growth in a growing economy. Even at a time of record inflation, the administration instead focuses on punishing producers in its pursuit of tackling, quote, the climate crisis. You know, the regulatory onslaught from the EPA's Clean Power Plan 2.0, how awful. Coal ash disposal, particulate matter revisions, mercury and air toxic standards. How about the Department of the Interior's new resource management plans and leasing inactions? They're all plain attempts to burden your industry, so much so that you all just give up. They can't force the closure of energy sources they don't favor, but they can and have done everything in their power to push mines and plants to shutter prematurely. You know, instead of operating within the bounds of federal law, Supreme Court decisions, and clear congressional authorization, the Clean Power Plan 2.0 plows ahead with illegal generation shifting requirements. We've already seen this played out, right? The Supreme Court was clear in the West Virginia versus EPA decision. The administration simply does not have the authority to require producers to generation switch. You cannot, you should not be forced to produce politically favored energy by the government. The idea itself is ludicrous in the best of circumstances. Meanwhile, the new MATS rule, which you're familiar with, takes a slightly less direct tack to eliminate lignite production. You know, the elimination of the lignite subcategory, that'll require producers to unnecessarily meet unproven emission limits at excessive cost to electricity consumers. But who cares about those pesky consumers? We're the government and we're in charge, right? Bureaucrats at the EPA are not even subtle in their hopes that you'll prematurely retire the plants instead of going through the effort of compliance. They'd rather you not comply. The EPA will do everything in its power to make lignite production and more broadly coal a relic of the past. But I'm working with Senate colleagues to make sure it remains a reliable, affordable energy source. And all of the above energy strategy harnesses the power of American energy and ingenuity and doesn't require us to rely on our adversaries. I know you know this, you're probably afraid of it. I could spend hours talking your ears off about the regulatory overreach coming out of our federal agencies, but I'll save more for you next time. Thanks again for all you do to heat and cool our homes and businesses and to keep the electricity flowing throughout the state. I hope you enjoy the annual meeting and that you have a lot of fun with one another as well as hear from fellow Lignite leaders. If I can ever, as always, ever be of assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. My door is always open to you. Take care and God bless you all.